Welcome back, guys. This is Gaming with Alston, and today we are on episode 13. Is this episode 13? Yes. Of Pyramid City. What we're gonna do is we're gonna build more of the pyramid. As the pyramid gets built, one inspiration for this pyramid city is there's a narcology called Masdar City. There's an arcology called Masdar City that's currently under construction in Abu Dhabi. That is one inspiration for this pyramid city I'm building. The outermost part of Pyramid City would be for agriculture. It'd be for agriculture. High-density agriculture. To feed the inhabitants. And through the progress I'm showing y'all on Instagram, it is starting to take shape. What's gonna power Pyramid City? Across the triangular faces, there'd be solar panels. Yes, the pyramid's gonna be really massive. Within the doomsday clock, we are 2 minutes to midnight. Water scarcity can bring forth another nuclear war. It would cause the collapse of a lot of large countries. The United States of America would collapse. Since Canada doesn't have as much population as America, Canada will probably survive. Due to how populated America is, America would collapse in on itself. Due to the huge population and the greater demand for water, even though the water is already scarce. Due to water becoming more and more scarce, the chance that America will collapse is very high. The chance that America would collapse is gonna be pretty high. Why? How populated is America? There's about 350 million people right now living in America. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Yeah, that's a lot of people. But the good news is, if everybody went vegan, America's carrying capacity would be about 800 million. Which is still a lot of people. That's still a lot of people. That's a lot of people in such a small space. It's still a lot of people. The Malthusian catastrophe would probably cause America to collapse. a large number. China has already exceeded carrying capacity. What can we do to control the population growth? And some of the heaviest people and children in the world have a medical condition that causes them to feel hungry all the time. It's called Prader-Willi syndrome. It's a medical condition known as Prader-Willi syndrome. Prader-Willi syndrome. Prader-Willi syndrome. It's not something you can prevent. It's something you're born with. In order to keep them from becoming morbidly obese, all the food would have to be kept under lock and key. That's how insatiable the hunger is for someone with Prader-Willi syndrome. That's how insatiable the hunger is for a patient with Prader-Willi syndrome. It's so hard to control that parents must resort to locking up all the food to ensure they don't eat themselves to death. It's to ensure that the patient does not eat themselves to death. There are cases in which patients with Prader-Willi syndrome ended up dying from a ruptured stomach. I know it's pretty sad. If they were under constant supervision, you wouldn't have to worry about them. Like, their likelihood of dying from a ruptured stomach is a lot less when they're under constant supervision. Freedom is sacrificed for safety in patients with Prader-Willi syndrome. Because there are cases in Prader-Willi syndrome is a genetic cause of childhood obesity. I was in fact checked for it when I was younger. True story. It's a true story. I was at a pediatric doctor's office. The pediatrician did a blood test on me to see if I had Prader-Willi syndrome. The result? They came out negative. which meant I don't have Prader-Willi syndrome. The real factor behind why I was piling on so much weight so quickly was due to type 2 diabetes, which I don't have anymore. The good news, if I had Prader-Willi syndrome, all the food would have to be kept under lock and key to make sure I don't eat myself to death. Which is what Hayback's parents did to help Connor, their son, lose weight. He's a more well-known example of the case of Prader-Willi syndrome. In really severe cases of type 2 diabetes, their food has to be locked up to make sure they don't eat themselves to death. Because there might be a case in which people with type 2 diabetes would keep eating and eating and eating until their stomach ruptures. And a ruptured stomach is it's not limited to Prader-Willi syndrome, but it's a well-known example. It might be seen in diabetics too, who have diabetes that is hard to control. What can cause it to get harder to control? Senescence. Biological senescence. Night, Mom. There's biological senescence. Because as you get older, your metabolism slows down. I'm not the only one in my family that had to deal with type 2 diabetes. Hunger pangs while losing weight is normal. The hunger you'll feel if you have insulin resistance, it's more of a starving hunger. It's a starving hunger. Because that metabolic disorder can leave people starving all the time. It can leave people starving all the time. example, diabetes can leave people starving all the time, even after they finish their meal. That is because their body's not responding properly to insulin, which means your cells become deprived of sugar, which means the amount of fat you store increases pretty rapidly. Did you know that Sverige was actually fined about 300 British pounds for eating a raw squirrel at a vegan market? I heard about that. He deserved to get fined. Because that's what he gets for trying to force people out of veganism. I believe that's what he gets for trying to force people out of veganism. And as a vegan, I'm pretty happy about that. As a vegan, I'm pretty happy that he got... But what would have made me even happier? If he was fined even more. If he was given a heftier fine. That would have made me a lot happier. If Sverige was given a heftier fine, I'd be a lot happier. Because that's what he gets for trying to force people out of veganism. His raw meat diet is disgusting. His raw meat diet's kind of disgusting. He eats months-old, rotten, slimy, moldy meat just so he could get high. Just so he could so-called get high. Off of rotten meat. That's why he calls it high meat. He claims that it gets him high. Following a raw meat diet's kind of disgusting. He eats slimy, disgusting, rotten, moldy meat just so he could get high. It is really disgusting. It's disgusting that he eats months-old rotten meat. What's the harm of consuming expired food? Like, it's not entirely harmful to you. In carnism, I'd call that a cult. Eating rotten meat can make you really sick. If I were you, I'd stay really far away from meat entirely. Our bodies produce as much cholesterol as necessary. Which is a good thing. I know you're into a lot of fighting in self-defense. So, Sverge, why don't you come to Columbia? We can have an MMA match. Perfectly legally. Ensuring no one gets hurt. But you won't do it. Because you're jealous of all those vegans. Who are bigger and stronger than you are. And anyways, this should be it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like if you like this video. Dislike if you disliked it. Subscribe for more. Don't forget to share this with your friends on social media. As always, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, and peace out.